Happy Sunday, everybody, and welcome to day 2 of the 2026 Woodbine Meet. Elisa and Jeff alongside with you for the afternoon. Of course, yesterday, opening day, maybe not the best of weather with the rain that took place throughout most of the card, but some interesting races nonetheless. What were your thoughts on opening day?
Yeah, you know, it was so chalky to start off, and then all of a sudden we had this first-time start named Impulsive Bid that was able to win. Winter trained, but able to win 11-1, and then Chrome-Plated Hearts, who was Robert's price play of the day, able to strike at a good number as well. But I was really impressed overall with how well the Woodbine-based horses, or those that didn't go south of the border, performed here for the most part. You know, the work tab, not very large in terms of quantity of horses that have been working. Maybe it started about 2 or 3 weeks ago, then it's really started to pick up steam. The last 2 days, it's been just so busy. So I think in a couple of weeks, we're going to have really nice fields.
Yeah, the locally trained horses ended up winning 5 of the 7 races on yesterday's program, whereas Gretna Green won the 4th race. That horse had been down in New York for Devin Gittins, and Impulsive Bid, as Jeff pointed out, had been down at the fairgrounds and had a really good foundation coming into the races yesterday. Here's once again that stat that we showed you from yesterday's show as well, just how these winter raced horses have been faring over the last few years here in Toronto, and then, you know, how they've been faring coming in from other racetracks. And you can see that last year in 2025, the Woodbine layoff horses were the ones who were winning the bulk of the races, and that trend continued yesterday as well. Now this will change, you know, as we get into, you know, the first month or so of the meet, because, you know, we had the horse that came up from the fairgrounds, hadn't raced there but had been trained there, and then you had the Gittins horse, Gretna Green, who hadn't been doing very well in New York, but came here and eked out a victory.
Yeah, fought hard for it, and it is somewhat intriguing to me that in the Welcome Back handicap, 5 of the 6 are winter race.
Right.
The only one not winter race is Chambers in there. So I wonder if a lot of those connections that kind of had that Welcome Back handicap on their horizon, thinking, you know what, we might be able to take advantage of the fact that we're facing a bunch of locally trained horses, but everybody sort of had the same idea going into that race.
Yeah, I think sometimes over the winter when you're somewhere, you're thinking to yourself, oh man, this horse would be perfect for the Welcome Back, and I can walk over him because I've been winter raced. But even yesterday, the race that Bob Tiller won with minimum 40, he was the only locally based horse or locally trained horse. The other 4 in the race were all coming in from the United States. So there you go, the local runner got the best of them.
She might be something special,
yeah,
that horse. So. You know, she was pretty impressive first time out last season, and then easy win on yesterday's card of race. And that mare, that Pody has just been such a wonderful mare for those owners.
Okay, so yesterday is in the books. We'll move on to today and what happened this morning. Well, Ernie Perry was busy. As Jeff pointed out, there were tons of horses on the work tab, so lots to choose from. But what I find really interesting is the first point that he makes on the surface. I mean, this is an interesting quote to say that he thinks today it's going to be horses from off of the pace. We have so many sprint races, so let's see if he's right about that.
Piper's Factor, yeah. I think, might be looking south of the border for a race. That's traditionally a turf horse, and obviously we don't have the turf ready to go as of yet, although it looks fantastic. It looked like they were doing some maintenance on the inside portion of the turf course when Robert started with his opening remarks. Now this horse to watch, this Mr. Blue.
Yeah.
Elise and I have been chasing this horse forever, and it's for a couple of different reasons. This is not the first time this horse has made onto Ernie's work tab, but also if you ever get a chance to be in the paddock area and see this Mr. Blue, he is absolutely stunning. Just such a good-looking horse. Now, he hasn't been able to put everything together as of yet, but let's see if this season he's able to kind of keep that nose on the line and on the prize here as well.
It's funny because we see so many youngsters here in Toronto, and in my mind, he is one of the standouts as far as lookers were concerned in the paddock last season. So we've got to run to those looks hopefully this year. Okay, we have a busy program for you today, 7 races in total yet again, and we've got a lot to talk about. So we'll start first with our first topic of the day, which comes up in the opener on the program, where we have maidens for 10,000 going a snappy 4.5 furlongs. Now, in this race, you will find a Wesley Ward trainee, that being Doc's Love. Now, Wesley Ward sent out horses on the program yesterday. Picking up checks, but not necessarily in the winner's circle. Doc's Love is a horse who has only had the one career start, but it was at Turfway. We know Turfway runners generally do well here in the city, and this one trained down at Keeneland as well.
That's the big thing. And thankfully, we have some workouts to show you. So let's take a look at a work in regards to this horse back on April the 13th. And this is a horse that obviously, as Lisa said, ran just once last season. They weren't crazy. They debuted the horse for just $7,500. And now they come off the layoff in here and they're in for just a price tag of $9,500. It's not a work that's going to blow you away, but nor should it for a 10,000 claimer, right? But I think all in all, it's just something to see. You know, I got a chance to see a horse stretching their legs in here. You're not being asked by any means in this replay. It's the one thing that we saw yesterday for a lot of our locally based horses was a far higher amount of handley works. Now, that's not a handley work by any means. This is just a nice little easy maintenance move, and this is a very good jockey trainer combination as well. This is a very light maiden 10,000 claimer, and I think that Doc's Love is definitely one that is going to be tough to beat in this spot. Now, this first-time starter from the Nathan Squires barn, this Mischievous Myra, this mare's had nothing but bad luck. This is the 7th foal lease, but only the 2nd to make it to the races.
Yeah, and only one that's been a winner, right? So the only thing I can say about this one would be that you see that first work is from the gate on April the 1st, and that's a half from the gate, so you know that this one was down south with his other horses.
And that might make all the difference in the world.
It could.
Because the fields come up so light in here. Butterfly Billy taking a lot of support in here. It ran okay in some races last season, one of the more experienced horses in the field.
Yeah, it's just a small group, just 5 horses to choose from in race number 1, and maybe when they come over, we'll be able to pass along some more information just as far as the looks are concerned, but it's hard to really go rah-rah behind some of these horses who couldn't put up buyer speed figures in their last couple of races last season, and horses who've been beaten double digits. So just a small group here in the opener on the card. Let's go to race number 2. Second half of the early double, maidens in an optional 40. And we'll go 5/8 of a mile where we kick off the jackpot. The jackpot power pick 6 and the $100,000 guaranteed pick 5. You got a field of 6 in this spot. The first time starter doesn't exactly have the best post position with the outside draw, that being Lady Baya from the Mark Cassie outfit. But you know what? This horse has some pedigree. This is a half to the great Duke of Love, who won the Prince of Wales.
Shaman Ghost, not a great stallion when it comes to first-time starters, but as you said, the mare has been a very nice producer. I wonder how Laura Krasovskaya got this mare. I wonder if she's had this mare all the way along, because it's been a lovely producer, as you said, Duke of Love. And I had a chance to catch up with Mike Langlois yesterday, one of the owners of this horse, and he was mentioning the horse was somewhat close to making it the races last season, but they couldn't quite get there. So now back in the mix of things in here, I would say the work's kind of so-so coming in this race. Now, I wonder if this is just simply a case of like twist of sugar just goes right to the front and makes every call a winning one, because that horse is obviously very, very fast. And then you have the other Cassie horse, this Miss Soothsayer, who's got a little bit of early foot as well. Now, I found it a little bit unusual yesterday. Not many of the Cassie horses ran all that well yesterday.
No, but this one could be the first one to get into the mix of things. I actually put her in the top spot, Miss Soothsayer. She was second on the turf at Gulfstream back on Valentine's Day on February the 14th, and that was a good effort from her. She came back with a 5th place finish. Now, these are against maidens in $50,000 claiming events down at Gulfstream, so you know that's a lot tougher than what she's facing here in a maiden optional 40. If that fitness is going to provide her with some sort of an edge, it's today. So I put her in the top spot over the 6, because again, those Shaman's Ghosts, we're just not sure about them. I think they need a little time to develop.
Yeah, they could, and probably want a little bit more distance than just 5/8 as well. One barn that's in this race, I just wanted to point this out, that has been extremely busy this spring, has been John Mattini. Like he wasted no time getting his horses up to 5/8. So we'll keep an eye on Money Heist as well, just to see. And obviously you've got Tara represented here with Vegas Road. He didn't take much money first time out down at Gulfstream. Yeah,
we are planning to talk to Tara Nagel too and ask her about the 2 horses that she has in the entries for today. So stay tuned for that. Over to our next topic, which is race number 4 on the program. We'll skip the 3rd, go over to the 4th race. Fourth race where we kick off the pick four, an optional $50,000 claiming event, 5.5 furlongs the distance for this one with a field of 6. And here's a horse with one heck of a reference, and that's Highway to the Moon. Hasn't raced since October the 5th for conditioner Del DeRusso when seen in the Algonquin, but guess who was the winner? Sci-Fair, who ended up becoming the eventual Breeders' Cup Juvenile winner. So that is a massive, massive frame of reference for the 6 horse, who has only worked twice locally. The first work is a half and then 5/8. So this suggests that here's a horse who was away somewhere over the winter.
I would agree with that assessment. And the one thing we saw yesterday, we weren't so sure about the Steve Churkoff 2-year-old facing older horses for the first time as the 3-year-old. Ran very well.
Ran well.
To finish in the second place position. And the connections are probably hoping that Highway to the Moon does just that. Really, he's done nothing wrong. I mean, he's run some fantastic races at this point of the proceedings in here. I'm going to go towards this being Marshall. I just love the fact the horse is super fit. But the 5.5 furlongs is a massive question mark for him. I mean, he's a horse that he's going to think he's breezing today.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I know.
So can his winter conditioning bump him up there? We know he's been facing tough company. We know he's impeccably bred. He was at one time a $600,000 purchase. Can he get up going just 5.5 furlongs in here? I'm taking a shot with him, but you're onto a bit of a safer play, I would say, from a distance point of view.
Yeah, because the Marshall horse bugs me just a little bit because of that cutback in distance. Like, he can show speed when he's going a mile.
Totally different.
But this is a whole different ball game now that we're going 5.5 furlongs. So they're going to have to be a little crafty with this one. So I went the 6 and the 1. This Lucky Guest is an interesting horse as well. And there's some good works from him. He worked in 47 and 2 and then came back to work from the gate in 47. So, you know, there's a good foundation, I think, underneath this one.
Another one of these Cassie horses, we saw this yesterday, ran on a really hot day last time out, and then we never saw the horse again.
That's right. Well, it knocked a lot of horses out.
Yeah, so maybe off the bench, this one could do some damage.
Okay, so that is race number 4. Next topic comes up in race number 5. 5th race, no-show wagering available for you, unfortunately, because well, there's only 5 to compete in this spot, and the money will likely show on a horse like War Strategy, the Cassie runner with Pietro Moran aboard. Now, I'm thinking this crafty veteran Bob Tiller could have Yacht Boy ready to go. You know, he had very limited starts last year, Jeff, only 4 starts for him, which kind of indicates that there might have been a little issue with this guy, but it wouldn't surprise me to see him ready to rock, especially after we saw the Tiller run in the winner's circle yesterday.
He's a runner, this horse. He really is. And the winner yesterday had post position number 1. This horse has got post position number 1. And, you know, wrap up last season, it was a very unlucky horse. He lost to Artemis City Limits, and we're going to see Artemis City Limits on the program here today as well. But just what absolutely killed the horse on this day was twofold. First of all, they didn't go quite quick enough for him, and the fact he has to go so wide here at this portion of the race in here. We'll show him for you right here on the outside. Look how wide he has to go in this portion of the race. So he's going to make up a lot of ground. Here's Artemis City Limits, who is a pretty classy horse. But watch Yacht Boy here. He's just going to run out of real estate. And it was at 5.5. Can he get up going 5? I think he can, because I think he's probably going to be a little sharp coming off the bench here today, but a bit of an unlucky loser last time out. But the big plus that Elisa said is the minimum 40 reference. The fact that we saw some little horses run very well yesterday, that's an encouraging sign. I've gone 4-1 in this race. I think, obviously, the class of the race is War Strategy, but hasn't won for a while. You're now going from the King Eddie in for $32,000. I mean, you should win this race, but the drop is a little bit alarming.
And these are the same owners of minimum 40. So wouldn't that be great for them if they could have a winner on the first day and a winner on the second day of the meet? So a lot of us taking a look at the 1 horse in this spot. And as you mentioned, John Mattini, who's been very busy in the morning, he sends out magic power in this race. Ryan Munger to ride, and Ryan got the better of us last night. It was the other Theranos horse.
Elgin Park,
the local horse.
Yeah, 7-2 winner. Yeah, it was an exactor for Willie on that particular occasion too. So nice for Willie. Always nice to win on opening day.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, let's go to race number 6. 6th race is the Welcome Back Handicap, and it is a starter for $25,000 with a field of 6. You spoke about Artemis City Limits, and we were, you know, look, it's the same for us as it is for you. We're finding out where a lot of these Drexler horses are going as they're being entered, and this one is with American conditioner Joe Sharp.
And they took a big drop last time out. They tried to get that win for 16, didn't quite pan out. But now that nobody took the horse, and they're able to squeeze into some of these races, and not have to go in for tags, whether it's here or down the States as well. And Artemis City Limits is a dangerous horse. He's got a ton of backlash to him. Joe Sharp, if you're not familiar with him, he's a very high percentage trainer. Very, very good trainer, whether it's in New Orleans or whether it's in Kentucky. So you definitely want to keep an eye on that. Now, what about some of the other horses in this race? Preston Ferris uncorked a beautiful first-timer yesterday, so that's encouraging for One True Gentleman, who didn't have a great trip last time out. I don't know if Moon Landing's really super sharp coming in this race or not, but then you've got Wagner, who's back under the tutelage of Sylvain Pion. And then you've got the split strike, and it's so funny that in a small field sometimes, nothing can go right for you, and that's exactly what happened with split strike. I remember watching this race thinking he was lone speed in here, and he gets involved early on, at least, in a four-pronged, there's 4 horses in the race, a 4-pronged pace battle in here. And here we go, they all want the front ends. And where are we? We're furthest on the outside here at this portion of the race. Just nothing went right. And eventually a couple of these riders are going to suck out of it and say, we're going way too fast here. But the damage is already done for poor Split Strike. And you can see right now he's traveling okay, but he'll go from the gas tank being 3/4 full to empty in about 2 seconds. And he just sort of totally falls apart here. Like right now, he's tracking, but watch when we get to the top of the stretch, the sail totally comes out. They go 22-2, they go a half, and 44-4. I don't think we're going to go that fast here today in this race. So that's going to help out a horse like Split Strike, but he's totally empty right now at this point. He's all done, and eventually he's going to finish in the 4th place position. So the race serves a beautiful purpose for today, and I just think the way that race unfolded did not go in the horse's direction.
That's right, because I can see Tara, after that race on March the 26th, the race you just watched, saying, okay, that's good. We know exactly where we're headed to in Toronto. We're going to that $25,000 starter, and we'll just pinpoint and look that way. Now, he hasn't worked here locally. He's that last race, March 26th, so probably wasn't in need of it. But we'll talk to Tara and see about her thoughts with this horse, Split Strike, who did have a win down south at Gulfstream back on February the 6th.
They had a good meet.
They did have a good meet.
Poulin Moti was able to have some success. So.
Yeah, and we know that horse had a little minor surgery, I think, right?
And he's come back in a big way. So, I like the job that Tara does, with her horses. She does a really nice job.
Been a nice addition here to the city. And, she had to make a big move, right? Moving from Western Canada to Woodbine, and that's taken a gamble, right?
Well,
and it really has worked out.
The misfortune with Hastings
No
now,
kidding.
Right?
And she got ahead of the game, too, because she's been here now for a couple of years. Let's go to the 7th race. This is the finale on the card. No high five, unfortunately, for you because of the scratch of the 1 Alpha Caden. So that gets us down to a field of 6. We're looking at an optional 40 claimer going 5/8 of a mile. Now, this is a horse that to me has been very disappointing that makes the Clockers list. Awesome Rainbow. When Norm McKnight was training him and back in his 2-year-old year, I thought he could have won the Frost King. In fact, I remember walking across the racetrack with Angus Buntain, who had the winner, Unbridled Weather. Never saw that horse last year, did we?
Nope.
And saying, you got really lucky. Go back and watch that replay, because this horse got stalled for a minute, and if he didn't get stalled, I think he was the winner. But then after that, last year was just so frustrating. They tried different distances for sprinting. They tried different surfaces with the inner turf, the EP Taylor turf. Of course, it just didn't work out. And now that Norm McKnight has retired, we see him show up in the Bill Theranos barn.
They even tried Saladin inside. They tried Saladin
pony,
outside.
Right.
I mean, they did try everything with this one. And now a new trainer as Willie Theranos takes over, because Norm McKnight is now retired in here.
And a new rider, too.
Yep. And comes up a key race due last time out. War of the Crowd came out of that race to win. 3rd place finisher came back to win for 25, and Sunday as well came back to win for 25 as well. So I have landed on Sniper Jack. I think we're in agreement here in this race. I just like the winter conditioning. I don't necessarily love the form coming in, but I just like the fact that we're a winter race more than anything.
Yeah, exactly. And Katarina and Rafael Hernandez have had great success together, too. Yeah. So, watch for that jockey-trainer combination. You look at that stat from last year. Wow, 37%, the two of them. So
Kat had a great year last year.
She did. And hopefully she has another one this year. Everybody needs to have 1 or 2 good horses in the barn, and this is a newcomer.
Would you move up the chances of Red Weaver now based on how well that Tiller horse ran yesterday?
Yes, I think we better pay.
3 Sons, Fukumoto, Tiller.
think we better pay attention to the Hall of Famer. But you got to prove something to me with Awesome Rainbow here today, because
Yeah.
I've given him my chances.
And you look at him, and from a size point of view, you think he can't possibly be effective. Yeah. But yet he's run okay in the past.
I know, he's a big horse.
Yeah.
So, and probably a little disappointing for their connections as well.
It's snowing out of Lisa, I'm told.
And it's going to snow tomorrow. And that really stinks, because I got to go to harness land tomorrow. So there's nothing I like more than watching harness racing in the snow.
You have to go to the barn first, too?
I got to do the barn in the morning.
The frozen water troughs in the morning.
Blankets,
you thought those days
on
were
top of
behind
blankets, on top of blankets. Oh, it's just so much fun when the weather turns sour. All right, what do you got as far as plays of the day?
Got a little early pick 3 here. Got Doc's Love, Lady Bia, and Got a Complex. Off the bench for Doc's Love, debut threat Lady Bia, and Got a Complex. And my multi-leg single is going to come up in race number 6, Split Strike.
All right, I got Doc's Love as a key. I got a whole bunch of horses I'm suggesting as keys. So Doc's Love, we got this Got a Complex, Highway to the Moon as a pick 4 key, and Artemis City Limits. I just like the move into this Joe Sharp barn.
Yeah.
So, I will play this horse as a key for my pick 4 as well. Robert, who had a really nice pick on yesterday's card that returned good money for Deb Rhombus. Yeah, $16.40 is the money he got back. He's got Lucky Guest, who we talked about. Ron's got a Complex. 6-1 is the price on this horse in race number 3, so keep your eye on that one. He's looking at a horse who had some decent races at Presque Isle, and Doug's got the 2-horse Marshall at 5-1. That's the Adamo horse, the Icon horse. And don't forget how good Adamo did here last season as well. Robert Geller is passing along a pick 4 ticket, and who better to talk us through it than the man himself, Robert Geller.
I had to see security walking out this individual last night because he had so much money in his pockets from chrome-plated hearts. He literally needed like 5 security guards to take him to the car.
I wish.
But it's funny, Robert. I got to give you props. Because remember, we were kind of chirping him a little bit. Like, Robert, looking for a price of 2-1, he says.
Right.
Well,
got his price.
Yeah.
I never look at a morning line, no matter who does it. I really don't. I like to do a selection without that and have my own, but hope that the market swings in the favor of over the odds. But you never know because there's so much change. But I wanted to say that I thought that the security guards could help me not lose anything this year. That would be
What did we lose last year? We lost
his sweater, a tie,
his pass. He always loses his pass.
Yeah.
I lost 2 sweaters.
His marbles. His marbles went somewhere.
My marbles. Let's hope yet. So I like Lucky Guest, and I wasn't enamored with the Marquez runners yesterday in the performances, but I'm sure they needed a run, or the first time starter ran well. But I did think Lucky Guest, it was the horse that had the back class, has run against really good horses, and really, as you mentioned, Elisa, really nice work tap. So I think Emma Jane's really live on this mount. I'm going to go single Lucky Guest, and I could just be out of it straight away, or have a nice fuel ticket for $18. I did like in the second leg both Robert Tiller horses. I think that Humber River really is a suitable candidate to win here, given that really likes sprints as well as distance. No doubt War Strategy has the back class. And Yacht Boy, I agree with you. I think Yacht Boy is very dangerous. I could see Dice K threading the needle up the rail. I put those 3 in. I also felt in race 6 that, I think it's wide open, but I didn't mind Artemis City Limits' form just overall. I think it's such a consistent horse, so I have to put Artemis City Limits in. One True Gentleman, I love the work tab. I think One True Gentleman for Preston Ferris, as we mentioned, Impulsive Bid was so impressive yesterday. And the other horse that I know is a bit of a price is Chambers, but Chambers really likes Woodbine, just seems to thrive here. So they're my 3. And the final leg, as always, I'm going to try and beat some favorites. And I did like Quadzilla a little bit here. And I also liked Time Zapper because they ran against Gone with the Win. And I felt at that class level, even though it was young horses, was a little bit higher than the opposition has faced. And I think Quadzilla could be dangerous at a price. And I also think Emma Jane's live on Time Zapper, who's run some nice races here. So I'm going to go for an $18 ticket, but I do need that first leg to win.
Okay, that's good. And Robert is all about chasing the prices. What about chasing some value riders this year?
Well, I really feel, as every year, Keve is such an incredible value rider. He gets under the radar. We saw it yesterday, and I don't know what it is, but he does bring home a great value where no one seems to cotton on. Well, I think Jalon Samuel will be another rider who will be similar. I think, and by the way, his winning ride in the Barbados Gold Cup was absolutely perfect. It was an amazing race, an incredible finish, and he came from dead last at the top of the stretch. I think he's going to have a very good season once we get him back in action.
All right. Yeah, we won't see Jalon today, but we will see Keve. And I saw Keve for a split second yesterday.
This is a funny story.
Yeah. I said to him, well, what about that decision to stay home this winter? Did you like that? And he said, not really when the snow was 4 feet high.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
but it was cold in Florida too. So listen, but we sure had a horrible winter, but it was nice to see him in the winner's circle. And I agree with you, one of the more underrated riders in the room.
Do you think Robert's car started the first attempt when he came back from vacation? Did it, Robert?
No.
It didn't, eh? Wow.
No. It actually did after a lot of work, and then after 200 yards it said, no, that's not happening. It was quite the ordeal, but we got there somehow. Yeah. It's been a tough winter for a lot of you.
You should get a green SUV. They're good.
Oh, yeah. Now that's what we need to find.
That's
Where's my
one that got
Honda?
stolen.
Oh, yes, that's right. Now, you know what, over the winter too, Robert, we used one of your lines at, your famous lines at Mohawk, and it caused a whole kerfuffle because nobody knew what Purple Patch was.
Nobody.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes.
All righty. Have a great day, Robert.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
You
Robert.
too.
Good stuff. Okay, everybody, we'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will take a look at the road to the King's Plate. Yes, that's right.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
I'm just watching this snow fly outside and thinking, is this winter ever going to end? Please.
So funny story. Last Tuesday, I'm going to get my summer tires on. I'm driving through a snowstorm to get my winters off.
Right? And even for me, I said, I don't know anything about tires. I said to Jeff, okay, he'll be the responsible one.
Yeah.
When should I get my tires taken off? I took them off 2 weeks ago. 'Cause that's when he said to do it.
To avoid the rush.
Yeah, and now tomorrow, snow in the
Might be 5
forecast.
snowstorms afterwards, but
But the tires are off.
yeah, that's right.
All right. Look, here's something that'll make us think of some warm thoughts. The King's Plate.
Yes.
I promise it won't be snowing on King's Plate Day. I can't promise it won't be raining, but I can promise it won't be snowing. And nominations closed the other day. Like, not closed, but you know what I mean. You have to
they're
keep up
announced.
going,
Yeah,
right?
all your payments.
Make your payments.
Yeah.
And we got 83 horses that have been paid up so far for the King's Plate on the road to, obviously, Canada's Triple Crown. And we've kept our eye on some of the horses, obviously, that went down south of the border, including a Josie Carroll horse by the name of Luster, who was last seen at Keeneland. This is back on April the 9th and on the grass. So, you kind of start to wonder, is Luster a horse that we're going to see, for the breeders, of course.
Yep.
But, this horse did race here and win here as well.
Right, and it's a filly, so she's going to be looking towards the Oaks
Well,
as well.
it's the Oaks too.
So in her first start, she won by 7 lengths on a yielding turf course in August, and then we never saw her again until this race, and she absolutely crushes on this day with Johnny V aboard the added Lasix, and that was a smashing win by Nick's Go too.
Oh,
and,
that's a very hot
yeah.
start.
So really interested to see what Luster is able to do, and the good news is they've been really patient with that horse, and I imagine obviously the first goal will be the Oaks, but then play it after that.
Yeah, but we got to see what she thinks about synthetic
Right,
too,
both
because
race
we've
up
only
and
seen
turf.
her on the turf now for both of her starts. Okay, here's another one. Rachel Halden, trainee by the name of Magical Factor, a winner at Keeneland as well, and once again on the grass.
Yeah, so Magical Factor was on the work tab last season and kind of grabbed a lot of people's eyes, but it wasn't exactly a smooth start to the horse's career. The last race at Gulfstream prior to this, that didn't go all that well, but Kazushi Kimura rode on this day. He went to ride some other horse and he picked up the medal on this day. Perfect kind of pocket type of trip, but just watch this horse going away. And what I love too is the speed figure the horse got. When do you see a Canadian bred at this time of the year get an 89 Spire speed figure, right? And you're obviously beating some very good competition, but we'll see if the horse is able to synthetic or not. But Chiefs Wood, I'm telling you, man, they are just getting better and better.
Yeah.
And their stallions, I was talking with Rob Landry this morning, who was mentioning that both Weyburn and Yorkton have been very busy. So that's great to see too. So and they deserve it. They put a lot of money into the game.
That's good because Yorkton, started off, it was a little slow, and then things really started picking up for that particular stud. So we want to remind everybody, or at least let you know for maybe the first time if you haven't heard yet this year, that Saturday, August the 15th will be King's Plate Day. And if you'd like to get your tickets, just go to kingsplate.com. But for now, just put that on your new calendar that maybe you
on the
got
fridge.
yesterday. Oh, you don't even have to. It's already highlighted for
Yes.
you on the calendar what day is the plate. And then, of course, we'll head over to Fort Erie for the Prince of Wales, come back here for the breeders as we do every
You know what's
year.
going to feel weird for us is the Prince of Wales on Labor Day, and that's the one holiday that we race here. So some there going to have to be some rider choices on that day. You're going to have some riders that, because remember some guys, they used to book
Used
a
to take
helicopter.
Yeah, I remember when I was working at Fort Erie, we'd have to wait for a while so that the helicopter could land. I think Rob Landry was on the helicopter one year. It was just kind of cool because the horses, the riders are coming over top of the racetrack, and that they're landing here. What would be interesting though is will they have the Puss in Boots that day too?
I don't know.
Historically, that's their big race on
Yeah,
Labor Day,
yeah.
and now it's going to be this. So we wish them all the best of luck this season too. Okay, I know it looks nice in behind us. You can kind of see it. It's a little bit of a sleet, let's say now, but we've got 22 minutes to go before the opener on the program today here from Woodbine. 7 races in store for you on day 2. Good luck.